Single thing about practicing religion. Thanks, I don't have anyone to talk about this. What? You're on your own, Chatter. You're asking the wrong guy, brother. Oh my god. Wait, your advice is work out, not get organized? No, organizing comes after, okay? A lot of people, when they ask me that question, are experiencing a crisis of confidence. Okay? Yeah. You gotta get brolic first. You need to be able to defend yourself first. Okay? And you can do both at the same time.
Defend yourself, or you can defend others. The true fucking leftist chat. Oh yeah, let's move on. Thank you, Hassan. We love you. Let's check this out. This is Bill Burr going off on the fucking dead CEO and killer.
Unmasked and smiling, police released new photos of a person of interest seen at a New York hostel where they believe the suspected
He goes crazy on the CEO.
gunman was staying. In this disturbing video, a masked man takes aim, shooting Brian Thompson.
Paul, what's going on in New York? We were just talking about it. That CEO got fucking whacked.
Oh my god, dude.
You know what's funny? I was sitting there reading an article guy, and they go, "Oh my god, he's such a great guy. He had a wife and kids, and he's such a great guy." And then you find out he and the other guys he's working for are getting sued for $121 million for dumping a stock and not letting the other people know.
In the lawsuit, he and multiple other United Health executives are accused of offloading something like 15 million shares of stock.
It's like, there's your motive.
Dude, anytime I hear CEO of one of the biggest healthcare, it's like, you don't wish it on anybody. You feel horrible for his kids and his wife, of course. But dude, when I saw that, and I saw,
what is more heartless than a fucking CEO of a corporation? The decision in healthcare, the decisions that they make. This is the thing. I'm not saying what happened should have happened, but I'm just for them to be like, oh, this is like, why would anybody want to do this?
The NYPD says it doesn't have a clear motive for the shooting.
Police are looking not just for the suspect, but a motive.
Police do not really know what the motive could be.
It's like they're denying claims and people are dying. The food supply is poisoned. It's like the fucking motive out there is wild. It's right up there, Paul, with getting life insurance. The second you get life insurance, whoever is the beneficiary immediately has motive.
My wife took one look at my will and realized that I'm worth more to her dead than alive. In my house, I don't need anything unless I break the seal myself.
You are now worth such and such amount of money if you're not alive, and there you are talking.
Bro, Bill Burr is a fucking legend. Like, he's always speaking truth to power, bro. I love it. I love it. That's the first time in my lifetime where I saw surveillance of something that was like a fucking movie, where the guy just stood out holding the gun, silencer hat, shot him, and just went off. That was fucking wild to see. My buddy who's a cop was like, did you see the surveillance? And when I saw him step out, I was like, is this real? That was nuts, dude.
That was so funny. Is this real? Paul, are you watching The World? What about fucking Vladimir Putin? He's over there and he's got like musk. You fucking put the cologne on and all of a sudden you start breaking out and like 3 days later you're dead. It's fucking brutal. I thought the most disturbing thing about it was that they had camera surveillance of the guy from there all the way up to Central Park. It's like, what sort of Big Brother city is that?
Yeah. And then they got him in a bank now, and they were like, dude, that's not the same fucking guy. Like, different jacket, different. I don't think they know.
They got to get him a cup of coffee. Well, this is the thing, Paul. They did. The thing about those murders is if there's no fucking connection to you and the victim, you've never met, you've never spoken, you have no priors or anything like that, you're in the wind. Like, I don't know how the fuck you would get that. He's covered up like this.
Now look, he did walk into a McDonald's in Pennsylvania and he got caught. Yeah. Someone fucking somehow thought he was familiar and called the cops. So they did catch him, but there was some weird shit about there was 2 guns, the suppressed gun. They couldn't find that, but they found a different Glock type weapon and a bunch of money. They said a bunch of money. It's like, what the fuck? And the guy was like,
No one give me no fucking money. So I don't know if the cops are trying to plant shit on him or what. But crazy.
You know what's fucked up, Paul? Is I've been doing a bit in my act, talking about how it was better when the mob was running shit because they were regulated simply because what they were doing was illegal. And I know that they were making a bunch of money, but they couldn't be flashing around. They had wars, they whacked each other and shit. And I was saying, like, how fucking great would it be to see, like, you know, the head of fucking, you know, Walmart gets whacked by the head of the fucking Target guy having that old-fashioned fucking war.
That would be so good, bro. That would be so cool if CEOs and rich fucks just started killing each other and have like wars, like some cyberpunk type universe. Oh my god, that'd be so fun. Oh, I'd love to see them all just kill each other. That would be great in Minecraft. But like, yeah, that would be really good. I like that. I was gonna say something else, but I fucking forgot. Shit. My brain's trying to save me, I think.
Spin the herd and keep everybody honest. But the problem is, those guys are all on the legal side of stealing.
Oh, what I was gonna say is, it's class warfare. Those motherfuckers are all on the same side. Even though they might have different opinions, they're all on the same fucking side. They're never gonna do no fucking rich war against each other, some cyberpunk style shit. No, they're gonna do the war on the poor ass fucks like me and you guys. They're gonna do the war on us because they're all on the same side.
And all of those politicians, they give the politicians the heads up, and then they turn around. They make all these fucking money. Andrew, what the fuck were you saying? Nancy Pelosi just made $9 million on some shit.
Nancy Pelosi's stock trades saw a 65% return last year. This comes as Congress has stalled talks on banning lawmakers from trading stocks.
They're gangsters, dude. Fucking gangsters. And then one of them gets whacked or something, they're like, oh my god, he was such a good guy. It's a dirty game, Paul. Healthcare, dirty game.
It's a dirty game. I tweeted last night, I go, the CEO of Aetna called a meeting today. They're going to relook at some of those claims they denied. Jesus, dude. Yeah, but so I heard an ex-military guy go, because two ex-military guys talked, and then John Walsh from America's Most Wanted to talk. John Walsh doesn't think it was a professional. This ex-military guy said the way he was standing and the way he held his gun was definitely some training involved. But the weird thing was, knowing the guy was going to be there at 6 a.m. in the morning, they said the dude knew he'd be there, and the dude was there for hours.
But here's my question, Paul. Why is there this level of coverage? Somebody gets gunned down in New York every fucking day. Now all of a sudden, all these experts have...
It's because it's a powerful person that died, guys. It's a rich fuck.
...to weigh in.
Yeah.
That's because of the status. We can't have white guys in suits getting whacked. Like, we got to find this fucking guy. Do that. Like, that thing right there, dude. That fucking right there. That sent a ripple shockwave. Dude, Bill Clinton fucking got up from Epstein Island and said, what happened?
I think he said, I think the record shows.
No, I'm saying, like, those people are all talking about it under their mountain or whatever. That fucking thing, dude. They don't give a fuck. Paul, if you came up and you whacked me because I fucking took your fucking whatever, your picks for the week, that's fucking page 19 of the Post. You start whacking a fucking CEO when a white guy in a suit can't walk into a 5-star fucking hotel without getting shot by a silencer, yeah, they get nervous.
Yeah, dude, that was, man.
Yeah, it was insane. It's insane. I feel bad for his family and all of that type of stuff. I'm not saying that shit, but I'm sitting there, saying, I think I make coffee here, Paul. Oh, the lights come on. Gingers do not look good with overhead lighting. Especially bald ones. I'm just saying, like, this thing that they're showing, the way they're spinning, like, how dangerous is New York that a white guy in a suit can't walk around? It's like, that's not why they're doing that, dude. It's because, hey, that guy was making us a lot of fucking money. Dude, I bet all those Giuliani guys were going, dude, was that you? Did you call that? Was that us? Was that us? Because I didn't hear in the meeting. Am I next?
Oh, dude, there was some
like, they're all nervous going, wait a minute.
That's actually a great point.
Please tell me that was just some random dude.
Because
if that was inside and I didn't know that was happening, I got a green light on me?
Damn.
I just feel for the kids. That's all I give them.
I do too, and I feel for his wife, and I also feel for that guy because I looked at his dumb face And I'm like, this guy just did this career, and it's just as you're moving up and you're moving up, more of your soul has to fucking go away. That's a soulless fucking business, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And I believe United is the biggest healthcare company in the world. Dude, that's a big whacking. It's a big one.
I'm telling you, Paul, like they whatever they were talking about today, in their big Illuminati meeting, that was definitely, as they're over there drinking virgin blood, like, CEO.
Dude, you got to do a bit. That's a funny bit, how guys are going, hey, like trying to feel their friends out. Hey, did you see what happened? Is that us? That was us.
Was that us?
That's funny.
Hey, man, like, I know that was kind of a public thing, and you can't tell too many people, but, like, I kind of thought I was in the circle. I thought I was in the circle of trust.
You are now on the inside of what I like to call the Burns family circle of trust.
Like at 7:30, hey, dude, you see the news this morning? You don't even say what it was. You just find out.
He goes to the Illuminati mountain, and he's got his pass card. He says, please work, please work, please work.
He puts the card up. Fuck.
God damn. God damn, bro.
Yeah, man, that's...
Look, I just want to... Am I in or am I out? Okay? I just want to know.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, dude. I was. My buddy sent me that, and then the guy's gun... It's so funny how everybody knows. Everyone's like, dude, his gun jammed 3 times. I'm like, well, he did what he had to do, which is horrible.
No, but he unjammed it.
The shooter was very good with clearing that jam with a weapon, which show weapon experience, the escape route, and the pre-planning. All of that is in place, which would seem to suggest there's some professional, sort of capability.
I was talking to an ex-cop, and he was talking about that, going like, no, but he cleared it. But then he was also saying, but like, would a pro have a fucking gun that, what is it, dirty or fucked up or whatever? And I said, I don't know. It might have been one of those fucking stupid guns you make.
Yeah, it was one of those plastic, what are they called? Those ghost guns or whatever.
Who knows, Paul, but I gotta tell you, this is the biggest whacking, I feel, since that fucking guy outside his Sparks Steakhouse.
The bullets that ended Big Paul Castellano's life last night may very well have been a payoff for getting into such trouble with the feds.
But is this the first one you ever saw?
What do you mean, first?
I was saying before, I think this is the first whacking that you actually saw. Like with Paul Castellano, there were no cameras, so you just saw his body.
Well, yeah, Paul, it was the 80s.
Yeah.
Catalytic converters. The fucking Cadillac was this big. There was nowhere for him to hide.
Yeah, and you just saw like a hand. With all those crime videos, those old mob, you just see like fat fingers under a car. You don't see. This was the first time I actually saw the guy walk up and do it, which was actually creepy to me to see that.
Well, it should be. Well, I don't watch any of those beheading videos. I never watched that shit.
No.
How did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others, and they will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror.
Hey. That was good. Thank you so much, Izzy So Dope, with 64,000 subscribers. Let's check out Anthony Jelznick destroy Joe Rogan in just under a minute. That's all it takes.
And yes, I did mention Joe Rogan, guys. Do not get me wrong. I like Joe. Joe's my friend. Joe's a good guy. But if you listen to his podcast, you're a fucking loser.
True.
My brother-in-law is Joe Rogan's biggest fan. Never misses an episode. Doesn't think 4 hours is long enough.
God damn.
But my brother-in-law is Joe Rogan's target demographic. My brother-in-law is a conspiracy theorist. A crazy conspiracy theorist. Like, my brother-in-law refuses to become an organ donor because he swears that if you get into an accident and the paramedics see that you're an organ donor, they won't try to save your life.
Wow.
Because they want to use your organs to help someone else. It's insane.
Wow.
But I can't argue with him. He's a paramedic.
Oh my god. That was good. I gotta watch that that dude. His Netflix special. Let's check out. There's some more information about that shooter guy. Ben Shapiro's audience destroys him over his opinion on the shooter. It's crazy. It's beautiful to watch, honestly. It's beautiful to see the left wing and the right wing finally come together on something. Well, the proletariat, the poor people, you know, the peasants, us, the workers.
Something is happening in this country that I did not think was even possible. Americans are waking up and finally becoming class conscious. And the propaganda that once suppressed this awakening for years and kept them in line has failed at a critical point in time. Now, to show you what I mean, we're going to talk about conservative commentator Ben Shapiro and the way that he discussed the assassination of the United Health CEO, Brian Thompson. Now, he did his usual bootlicking because that's what he's paid to do.
Yup.
But he tried to make this
Ben Shapiro is so annoying, guys. I hate his voice. His voice. He sounds like Porky Pig. He sounds like Porky Pig. Porky Pig. Oh, you want facts and logic. Facts and logic. He sounds like he's like in. He belongs in like the fucking South Park or something. It's insane.
Left versus right thing, and as you're going to see, his audience was not buying it. Now, before we talk about Ben Shapiro, I think it's important to note that we do have additional details about the assassin, and his politics were pretty ambiguous. So we know that his name was Luigi Mangione, and he followed liberals
Luigi Mangione
like AOC and Trevor Noah on Twitter, but he also followed conservatives like Joe Rogan and Patrick Bet-David. Now, he retweeted right-wing billionaires like Peter Thiel. But I mean, politics aside, he has a photo of an X-ray in his Twitter banner and apparently had books about back pain in his Goodreads and reportedly had a lot of medical issues in that regard. And in an Amazon review that he posted, he said that he thought violence was necessary to survive. So his politics can't fit neatly in one package. Like most Americans, his politics are kind of all over the place. But presumably, he had a bad experience with the U.S. healthcare system after suffering a medical issue and was radicalized by it as a result. But obviously, he took things so much further than others have who have suffered the same fate. Now, Ben Shapiro, getting back to him, tried to partisanize this issue and make it seem like it was just the left that was celebrating the murder of this healthcare CEO, even though everyone had the same response everywhere. But to be fair, Ben Shapiro did not know these details about the shooter that I know now at the time that he posted these videos. But one thing that was crystal clear was the fact that everyone, everywhere, basically had the same response.
Yup.
Regardless if they were on...
Fuck off, CEO. Go die in a ditch. That's how we all feel. Hey, you're rich, man. You lived your life. You lived your life doing evil shit, and, like, it wasn't fair what the guy did. He shouldn't have shot you. But I'm not gonna, like, I'm not a rich asshole, you know what I mean? So I don't give a shit.
On the left or the right. Because healthcare is something that all Americans have to deal with. And we all know that these private insurance companies are trash. They kill people, they murder people, they rip us off. So nobody had sympathy for this healthcare CEO. Didn't matter if it was in right-wing or left-wing circles. But the problem is that that didn't fit with Shapiro's narrative, so instead, he tried to turn this into an us versus them, left versus right thing in both of the videos that he posted. One of them was titled, "A Shocking Target Attack and the Left Celebrates," and the other was titled, "The Evil Revolutionary Left Cheers Murder." Now, before I show you how his audience reacted to that obvious bullshit, I do want to point out the fact that Ben Shapiro is just not a good person. He wants you to think that he's morally superior to you because you maybe liked a meme or an edgy tweet about the slain CEO of a health insurance company. But let's look at some commentary from Ben Shapiro himself.
He literally said that, like, Palestinians or, like, Arabs like to bomb shit and live in open sewage. Like, that's the type of shit that this evil motherfucker says. So don't ever let him tell you that you are wrong for thinking that a fucking billionaire rich asshole maybe deserve what he got. Maybe in Minecraft.
So on October 24th, 2023, when Israel was indiscriminately massacring innocent civilians in Gaza, Ben Shapiro shared this video to Facebook titled, "Gazan Civilians Are Not Innocent." Yeah, that's something that he uploaded. In other words, it's okay to slaughter innocent people because they're all complicit with the crimes of Hamas. But I mean, that was more than a year ago, so maybe he's changed his views about murder and whether or not it's good after seeing the evil left cheer for the murder of this CEO. But he hasn't. Because after clutching his pearls over the reaction to that news story online, he then celebrated the acquittal of Daniel Penny, the murderer who choked Jordan Neely to death on a subway last year.
Wow.
Daniel Penny verdict is in. He has been acquitted. Thank God. Thank God the jury did.
Wow. So somebody that kills a homeless person, an innocent homeless person having a mental health episode, that is okay to acquit. But a dude that kills a powerful rich dude in a suit and tie, oh yeah, that guy, that's a bad target.
The right thing.
Kill more homeless people, guy.
I'll bring all the details in just 1 second. First, this is your reminder that DW Plus gift memberships are 40% off.
Unbelievable. And he was presumably so excited by this news that he just couldn't wait to get to the studio to talk about it. But of course, before he talks about that, this millionaire had to first ask his audience to give him more of their hard-earned money before telling them why murdering poor people is good, but murdering rich people is bad. And if you celebrate the murder of a rich CEO who's responsible for the deaths of thousands of innocent Americans, you're evil, according to Ben Shapiro. But yet he's going to...
think about it, guys. When people go into medical debt, like let's say medical bankruptcy in the United States is the biggest form of medical debt. If you go into medical debt, that ruins people's lives. People get depressed. People kill themselves. Suicide rates. People drink themselves to death. People ruin their lives because of sadness and depression because of the fucking healthcare system putting them in fucking debt. So you're ruining people's lives. They're probably dying. And you expect us to just like fucking take it up the ass. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Say that, yet celebrate and rationalize the murders of innocent civilians in Gaza or poor people in the United States. Yet he's perfectly moral and you're immoral. This man is fucking shameless. And to be clear, I'm not cherry-picking examples here. Ben Shapiro routinely celebrates the murder of innocent civilians. He gleefully tweeted about Trayvon Martin's death, who was murdered at 17, and joked about Israeli war crimes in Lebanon that killed innocent people, including an 8-year-old little girl named Fatima Abdallah. And in case
fucking disgusting piece of shit, dude. He should go to hell.
Just sensing a little bit of a pattern here, you're not alone, because he seems particularly excited about the murders of black
Bro, the worst people ever. The worst people always make the most money and like go up in this society. They always make it to the top.
Brown people. But if I point that out, I'm being woke and I'm playing identity politics, which is another thing that only the right can do. Now, I say that because Shapiro's associate, Matt Walsh, did just that. He tweeted the leftist outright praising the first-degree murder of a health insurance CEO because he's a white male. If he was a CEO of the same company but was a black woman, you would not be seeing any of the gloating and celebration. I hope everyone understands this basic point. Sure, man, it's not because that CEO is responsible for the deaths of countless Americans and they've dealt with his company themselves. It's because he was white. That's why they were celebrating. Hey, just for kicks, I wonder if Matt Walsh praised murder recently himself. Oh, would you look at that? He's retweeting End Wokeness, who's saying this acquittal marks the end of the BLM era, so pop that champagne. And I guess they just had to include an image of Jordan Neely dying just for good measure. Listen, I need you to understand that these people are morally superior to no one. And the reason why they're so offended by the response to the health insurance CEO's murder is because they don't view what he did as criminal. Because in their mind, poor people are just disposable. Their lives are meaningless.
Estos come mierda deben estar en la prisión. Ellos deben estar abajo la prisión. Fucking assholes, dude.
So if they're mad about a family member dying due to a claim denial, tough fucking luck. Should have stopped being poor, I guess, right? They genuinely believe that rich people are better than the rest of us. But here's the thing. Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh, but we're going to talk about Ben Shapiro for purposes of this video, completely misread the room on this one, because even though he's never had to think about healthcare a day in his life since he's a multi-millionaire, the same can't be said for his audience, regardless of how conservative they are, because they're not as wealthy as he is. They understand how fucked up our healthcare system is. We've all dealt with the claim denial or unexpected medical bills, or we know somebody who has. So it's one of the few subjects where propagandists like Ben Shapiro can't lie to their audience. But he tried to, and it did not go well. For example, on the first video that he posted where he hypocritically attacked the left, he got 4 times as many dislikes as he did likes. And on the second video that he uploaded, he got nearly 7 times as many dislikes as he did likes. And in the comment section, you see Ben Shapiro's conservative audience wake up to the propagandistic role that he plays specifically in their exploitation and subjugation in real time. And it was really, really encouraging to see this. So here's some examples from both of those videos. So that way,
oh
you know,
no, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck did I just do? I ruined it.
Exploitation and subjugation in real time, and it was really, really encouraging to see this. So here's some examples from both of those videos. They started a
that's so cool.
culture war, so we forget about the class war. Saw my lifelong hardworking father become bankrupt as a result of claims being denied after getting cancer. You were out of touch, man. Hate to break it to you, buddy, but it's not just the left who is sick of this. This just in, man with a $50 million net worth completely misses the point and is out of touch with the frustration of regular Americans. I'm not buying this left versus right shit anymore, Ben. I want healthcare for my family. Thank you, Ben, for showing us what a good dog you really are when it comes to defending your owners. Your rich privilege is showing, Ben. Not that good anymore at keeping the working class divided and angry at each other. Remember, guys, Ben has more in common with that CEO than he has with any of us. Quote, he had a wife and a family. Yeah, bro, so do the hundreds of thousands of people who are denied healthcare and die. Your business model requires us normal people to hate each other. Wow, maybe I've been wrong this entire time. Ben, I don't think you actually care about us. I think you just want our money. I think you want us to hate each other. Ben's net worth is around $50 million. He is a peer of Brian Thompson, not of us, the average American citizen. He makes money by generating hate and division. My brother-in-law died because they never approved the correct treatment for him. This is not a left versus right thing. I work in a factory in a deep red state. My coworkers all voted for Trump and wear his merch. They were
trying to fix my camera real quick. Awesome.
Laughing at the incident. It's not just the left. The perfect out-of-touch response from a rich kid who never struggled. And finally, starting to realize your entire career is built off getting ordinary working folks to hate each other. Wow. I could honestly read these comments all day. To see people wake up to the games that elites are playing is truly inspiring. I don't know how else to describe it. And if you're a conservative viewer of Ben Shapiro who happened to stumble upon this video, I know some of you have found my content because of my video that I posted about this. Allow me to fill in some more blanks for you and let you know the ways that Ben Shapiro is trying to obscure the harm that is being done to you at the behest of the billionaires who fund his channel. Propagandists like Ben Shapiro, they're funded by right-wing investors that benefit from his divisive politics, because if you're fighting us in a culture war, you're not going to be fighting the elite. You're going to be too distracted to fight them since you're fighting us. They want you to think that immigrants are the reason why you're not making more money at your job, so you don't notice that the CEO of your company, who just gave himself a raise, by the way, hasn't given you a raise in years, even though you're probably doing more work now than you were doing when you first started, since they laid off people and never replaced them because the company wanted to make a few more bucks. And it's only a matter of time before they replace you with a robot, not an immigrant. Don't be afraid of an immigrant taking your job in 2024 when they're creating the AI right now to replace all of us. They want you to think that black and brown people and DEI have made you less safe when you fly in an airplane, so you don't realize that the safety issues stem from the CEOs of these companies.
From deregulations and the companies cutting corners and making everything so unsafe.
Companies like Boeing cutting corners to save a few bucks. A black pilot didn't make the doors of one of their planes blow off. A female train conductor didn't cause the train to derail in East Palestine. Greedy CEOs who bribe politicians to deregulate their companies are responsible for these things. They want you to think that climate change is a hoax and that the people who are concerned about it are alarmist communists that want you to live in hobbit homes and eat bugs or some shit. So that way, you know, you're mad at them for that, as opposed to the CEOs of fossil fuel companies who are destroying the only habitable planet that we all have. They want you to spot the woke mind virus everywhere you look, in video games and movies and TV shows, because if they're priming you to see LGBTQ plus people and people of color as the enemy, you're not going to realize that elites are your true enemy. They've brainwashed you into thinking that people who are different from you, they're the real threat. They're the real enemy. And they've bought off all of our politicians. They've rigged our entire system against us, and they're richer than ever while Americans are poorer than ever. Most Americans can't afford a $500 emergency, whereas multimillionaires and billionaires are buying their fourth mansion. and second yacht. And they're sharing photos of these lavish lifestyles on Instagram while your grandmother struggles to pay her mortgage on Social Security. They have no fucking shame. They have it all, and they want more. And it's a zero-sum game. You have to pay for these lifestyles. They're paying less taxes, and you have to pay more because they have the power. So fuck you. They got theirs, and they want more. They want you to have nothing, not even crumbs anymore. They used to throw us some crumbs. They don't want you to have even that. And billionaires like Elon Musk, who bought himself a position in Trump's administration, wants to take away your Social Security, even though you've paid into that your entire life. That's the immigrant you should want to deport, not some innocent abuelita who came here looking for a better life for her family. Elites
deja nuestras abuelitas tranquila, cojones. Fucking assholes.
Lie to you about Medicare for all because these health insurance companies profit off of your pain and suffering. They pay politicians to lie to you about a single-payer healthcare system, and they say, oh, that's socialism. You should be afraid of it because our current for-profit system has made them rich. So they want you to believe that something better that all the other countries have adopted is actually worse for you. And if we had healthcare that was free at the point of service, the gravy train would be over for these CEOs. So politicians let us suffer and die so these companies can leech off of us some more. They're distracting you by pitting you against queer people and black and brown people because if you're fighting them, you're going to be too busy to fight the people at the top who is actually fucking you over in a plethora of ways. And I am so glad that so many of you are finally waking up to this reality. But you have to understand that fellow working class people are not your enemies. Regardless if they're gay or trans,
or
black
not,
or brown, Muslim or atheist or an immigrant, they are not your enemies. They are not responsible for your economic
We are your allies, brothers, comrades.
Anxiety. And even though you probably felt like the system was unfair, but you didn't know how to articulate how it was unfair, you probably noticed that the rich were doing pretty great. They were getting richer while you kept getting poor year after year after year. And people like Ben Shapiro tricked you into thinking all of those problems stemmed from immigrants or trans people. They tricked you into hating innocent people that are also getting fucked over by the same system that's fucking over you, right? CEOs are the ones that you should be hating. Billionaires, elites, oligarchs, they are the ones that are the cause of your pain and suffering. They are all of our common enemy. But people like Ben Shapiro turned us into each other's common enemy. He is paid to distract you while the rich robs you blind. It's the oldest trick in the book. It's called divide and conquer. And I am so glad that you are finally aware of it. And I would love nothing more than to stop fighting you in a culture war and instead join forces with you to fight in a class war. But here's the thing. That means the people that are going to fight alongside you have to be on equal footing. A trans woman would love nothing more than to fight a class war with you, but she can't do that if she also has to focus on her humanity when it's under attack, or if she fears for her life every time she leaves her home. An immigrant can't fight a class war with you if you continue to see them as the enemy and call for their deportation, and if they have to be worried about deportation or feel like they're not welcome in this movement. A gay man can't just fight the culture war with you if he thinks that his marriage rights are under attack, because he's got to take time to protect those gains that he's made too. So if you're serious about fighting a class war, you have to stop fighting the culture war first. And you have to stop viewing other people as the enemy entirely. Period. Full stop. It's already hard enough to fight a class war when your boss has you working longer hours for lower wages and you're already tired when you come home and you feel like shit. But if you also have to fight for your basic civil rights too, it diverts attention away from the class struggle that we all desperately want to be able to fight with you. So if you're serious about change...
For real, bro. That's so true. Like, when we're divided, like, we're defending our own rights and shit. Because all this misinformation that these fucking assholes feed the right wing. So we're always divided. But if we can work together, we can all get our rights.
Changing this country for the better once and for all, and taking back the wealth CEOs stole from us, that necessitates you seeing the humanity in people that Ben Shapiro and his ilk have demonized. It requires you to accept that you not only have to welcome trans people into your movement wholeheartedly, but you have to fight alongside them for their rights as well, for their emancipation as well. Because they're not going to fight for you if you're not going to fight for them. You can't have true class solidarity if you think that the people who are fighting alongside you should have less rights than you. And you can't expect them to join you in a political movement unless you unequivocally repudiate the divisive politics that separated you both in the first place. That is the first step. And I hate the term culture war because it minimizes something that affects people's lives in a profound way. We're talking about civil rights and basic human dignity. And you have to internalize the fact that none of us are free until all of us are free. Race, sex, class, it is all intertwined, and you have to see that. You can't expect marginalized people to postpone their own liberation and emancipation or put aside the fight for now, for civil rights in order to fight this class war with you, because we have to do both things simultaneously. We can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Hey.
Right? So if you're serious about changing this country for the better, and you should be, and you really want to take on the rich bastards that are keeping you down and making you poor and keeping you that way, you have to stop fighting marginalized people and start fighting for marginalized people. And then they will fight alongside you. That is how you cultivate class solidarity.
For real.
It's going to take a lot of time for you to deprogram yourself, because trying to resist years of right-wing brainwashing will force you to reckon with a lot of beliefs that are going to make you feel uncomfortable. You're going to experience cognitive dissonance and even anxiety. But that internal struggle is so worthwhile, because it is the true path to liberation for us all. So start by making yourself familiar with the arguments of trans people on YouTube. Listen to marginalized content creators about their experience. Have an open mind. And I promise you, if you extend sympathy to them, they'll extend it back to you. They're not evil, like Ben Shapiro told you they were. They're just like you, trying to live their lives. And they want better lives for themselves and you too. And if you actually see your fellow Americans as equals, and you truly become class conscious, imagine how fucking terrified these elites will be if they know that politicians can't just win elections on divisive wedge issues anymore. Imagine how wonderful it would be if politicians in both parties knew that they couldn't win elections unless they promised material goods to the voting population, like guaranteed healthcare, housing, and not just the living wage, but a comfortable life that our grandparents had. All working people would be unstoppable for the first time ever in this country if this were to happen. So challenge yourself if you came from Ben Shapiro's audience, and understand that if you take the bait when Ben Shapiro or Matt Walsh dangles woke hysteria or LGBT groomers or DEI in front of you, you're playing into the hand of elites, and you're fighting minorities instead of the rich people. Resist the brainwashing and fight back, and that's how we all win.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Play stupid games.
F around and find out.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Play stupid games.
Hey.
Trans rights are human rights. It is necessary to push trans on the kids. Pride.
That was so good. I want to play this before I end the show.
Not too bright, folks. Not too fucking bright. But if you talk to one of them about this, if you isolate one of them, you sit them down rationally, you talk to them about the low IQs and the dumb behavior and the bad decisions, right away they start talking about education. That's the big answer to everything. Education. They say we need more money for education. We need more books, more teachers, more classrooms, more schools. We need more testing for the kids. And you say to them, well, we've tried all of that, and the kids still can't pass the test. They say, don't you worry about that. We're going to lower the passing grades. And that's what they do in a lot of these schools now. They lower the passing grades so more kids can pass. More kids pass, the school looks good, everybody's happy, the IQ of the country slips another 2 or 3 points, and pretty soon all you'll need to get into college is a fucking pencil.
So fucking true, dude. He's gonna talk about the education system and like how politicians basically don't want you to get any smarter than what you are, because they just want they just want workers. They want worker drones. They don't want people that can actually figure out that they're being fucked over.
Got a pencil? Get the fuck in there. It's physics. Then everyone wonders why 17 other countries graduate more scientists than we do. Education! Politicians know that word. They use it on you. Politicians have traditionally hidden behind 3 things: the flag, the Bible, and children. No child left behind. No child left behind. Oh, really? Well, it wasn't long ago you were talking about giving kids a head start. Head start, left behind. Someone's losing fucking ground here. But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason.
Left start? A Head Start, left behind. Someone's losing fucking ground here. Yeah, there was a Head Start program for kids back in the day. I don't know if that's still going on.
For this is the reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better.
Listen.
Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club.
And you ain't in it.
You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Yeah. You know? And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on. The fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
Oh, the greatest country in the world. So little countries are and my little girls. Number one exporters of sugar. All other countries have inferior sugar. Home of famous cigar. It's started by capitalists all around the world. Cuba, you're very nice place. Cuba, friend of all except America. They're very nosy people with gold up their ass. Cuba, industry best in the world. We invented coffee and the shaving knife. Cuba, you very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana. From brass mighty penis of our leader. From junction with the testes, the tip of his face. Cuba, you're very nice place. From hills of Guantanamo to southern Havana. Come, breast mighty penis of a leader.